rubbing salt into my eyes. We loved it, all the poison in our veins. We'll never get it together, we'll never be the same. Oh, my heart, my heart, my head, damage done, truth be said. Ow. Oh, my heart, my heart, my head, damage done, truth be said. Ow. I forget what it was that I said, and I regret all the honesty that I bled. You loved it, sending me in a spin. You may think that I'm beaten down, but I'm up for it again. Oh, my heart, my heart, my head, damage done, truth be said. Ow. Oh, my heart, my head, damage done, truth be said. Ow.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Damage done, the truth be said. We've got John Boston, Fleming is in the house, Megatron, BJ. Good to have everybody and the other eyeballs that are listening. Appreciate the participation. We've got Travis back as well. Good to see Travis. I thought we would talk about today's modern day, why most modern day, 98% will be single, and men as well. Men think they're not single if they're with a girl, but the girl's got too many options. Let's be real. Very, very, well, there's a 1% to 2% out there that RAD gives credence to. 98% are not recommended, never will be recommended, are damaged beyond belief, and unfortunately that is how it is. Megatron says shopping is not a skill, it's an addiction. Credit cards for $300, Trebek. Hey, you in the house, good to see you. Let me know where you are from. Hey, Rad, Wolf King Sigma is back. And by the way, I just saw that One Fast Dak, if one of you can link his new channel, which is Too Fast Dak, apparently he got 2 strikes last night about 3 in the morning. This is what happened to me in May at my original channel. And within 3 weeks, I got my 3rd strike and they nuked it. So Used Tubes is on a binge to get rid of strength. And they want to push the Skittles agenda by getting rid of masculine creators such as Dak, myself, Hammer, and so forth. So sub out to him. Thanks, Megatron, for putting that up. We definitely need to start helping each other. I'm telling you, it's going through a sifting. I have a Rumble account now. It's transferring a lot of my videos. You have to look under Rebel Against Defeat. I think there's 2 of them. Look at the one with all of the videos. There's like 30 of them, I believe. But there you go. Karuna, I remember YouTube before Google bought it. It's look, remember Google saying don't be evil? You know, they want to silence men helping men. They want to silence men becoming improved versions of themselves. They want to silence the pitfalls and the dangers of committing to women in today's modern day society. They don't commit to men. The majority do not commit. They never will. They say they're your girlfriend, your wife, your spouse. No, they don't commit. Mentally, emotionally, they're not really committed. Physically and maybe financially, they might be committed for a certain time, but no. Patriots won. Why? It makes more money to elites to have both sexes in workforce and cause chaos. You'd think so, but the internet is like Yahoo, completely biased to the left. Brotherhood is strong. We embrace minimalism. So why will the majority of women and men be single forever? Well, women, 98% of women seek attention and validation. There is no man that could ever keep up with that. They might have 6-week relationships, 6 months, but that woman will have multiple options in her phone. She'll have multiple attention seekers, multiple validated seekers. It doesn't matter what the woman looks like. Heavy, short, skinny, dark, light, in China, in Russia, in Ukraine, in Mexico, in Bolivia. It doesn't matter. Women have too many options. That is the reason that women will be single. It's as simple as that. Let's see. Let me get to some comments here. A bunch of angry Yiddish fat hoes with ugly tattoos nuking channels. Bob, most likely. You might be right, Wolf. There's probably a bunch of angry band ladies reporting Dak's channel. The content is great. I know there's nothing wrong. He just shows a video, he replays it, and makes a quick comment, nothing else. And very clean. So again, and Dak doesn't do a lot of live streams anymore. I think he quit just because that has the potential of nuking people. The comments. Lanny X2, afternoon buddies. I can't watch the stream, but I will be listening while I'm at work. Good to have you. Thanks for chiming in. So again, the multiple options for women will continually keep them single. It's as simple as that. There are too many options. It's a subconscious. Why settle for one when they can get another one? Multiple direct messages, multiple men constantly seeking their attention. And most of these men, all they want to do is smash. There are many men that are very needy and effeminate that want relationships and love and all that crap. And women are past that. Women do not, 98% of women do not want, they don't believe in love. They think they do, but they don't. There's so many TV shows and movies that talk about this. Sex Life on Netflix talks about a woman gets married after she was with a Chad. She goes back to the Chad, what have you. Women are bored in relationships. It's as simple as that. Men want to be with a companion, and men will stay with women because it's easy. They're committed to the status of the relationship, the type of a relationship. Oh, I'm a married man. I'm a husband. I'm a boyfriend. I'm a fiance. They're in love with that. They also don't like to lose their investment. So the amount of investment, whether it be money, energy, time, and emotion, they don't want to lose it. Women, on the other hand, from my perspective, they're not in it. They love differently. The attention today, and this is why you see so many headmeds. You see so many distraught ladies that are taking medication. They're drinking early. They have multiple cats. They're always online on social media. They have different accounts. They're just not able to commit. It's really that simple. Prove to me that I am wrong. Prove to me that women commit anymore. Women might like the idea of being a wife, but they like the idea of being showered, giving tons of attention, showered with validation the day they get married. How do I know this? Because I went through it. Only things in life guaranteed are taxes and death. Everything else is not. Well said, Patriots One. Woke culture invading masculine cultures will probably have to migrate elsewhere. And that's another thing. Well said, Wolf. Men are becoming effeminate. Women are becoming masculine. The roles are shifting. And I'm not talking physically. Women's voices, I don't know if you've noticed, but a lot of women today have very masculine sounding vocal cords. They're very direct. They're not as submissive or feminine as they once were, 30, 40 years ago. If not, maybe 20 years ago. So you're seeing a lot of gender psychology shifts. Men think they have to be nice and loving and this and that. That turns women off. Women are bored with men. They're bored of relationships where the man, and a lot of folks have talked about this. Philippines, they look the same. So if you lose one, you get another. There you go. Office husbands are an endless headache. How about office wives? Women on meds leave their son the road to prison. Yeah, very well said, Fleming. Good to have you again. Like you said, we are just one man. We'll never compete with the modern world, the fast pace of life, and their phone. You will run yourself dead and die trying to keep her happy. Well said, Travis. And that's what we talk about to men. If you know that the reality of you being in a committed, loving relationship is literally less than 1%, why would you continue to seek it? The suitors for these relationships don't exist. 98% of women do not fit that mold. They are not committed. They are bored of men. You know why they're bored? Because they have so many options. They have so much attention. What are you going to give to that woman? right? Don't Quit Persevere says, I really believe the soy and majority of food on the shelves are making men feminine. Would agree with that 100%, brother. Look at the ingredient on your food. It's insane. The processed foods, right? I mean, we're all guilty of eating processed foods. Heck, the other night I had that cheeseburger and fries from McDonald's. I was craving it. Is it great? No, but if I eat it every day, 2-3 times a day, it's going to cause issues. But I would agree, try to eat it as healthy as you can. Use fasting to clean you out, to make you stronger, make you leaner, make your health better. Bioengineering food. Yeah, even the seeds are bioengineered. Be like Office Space, give the boss a break. So I guess what I'm saying is, if you know, and they did an article, I think what Forbes did an article that women, and by 2034, 48% of women between the ages of 21 and 45 will be single. There will be nothing. So if women are single and they're going a career route, and they're obviously going up the ranks, right? Women make quite a bit of money as well. So this whole argument, there's inequality, that might happen in certain corporations, but the woke corporations are paying women quite a bunch of money. In healthcare, the technology companies I work for, we have executive vice president, marketing executives that are women that are making a shit ton of money. So if they're making the money and they have the ability to live a life without the resources of a man, what are you going to give her? She makes the money. She has a life. So they get enchanted. From my perspective, again, not all women are like this. From my perspective, women are seeking adventure. That is why women love to be pulled one way and pulled the other. If you are a boring Poindexter, as Tom Leykis talks about, you're done. You're done the minute you want to be her boyfriend. She doesn't want that. She wants the bad boy that'll string her along, dump her, treat her like crap emotionally, doesn't show up, tells her she's fat, backhanded compliments, and then the next day he's kind to her. Women enjoy a rubber band effect. It's all over the place. Nice guys that are seeking relationship, nice guys are agreeable. And agreeable equals weakness, and weakness equals no-go for ladies. Again, my favorite word is no to a lady. That is the quickest word that'll get her turned on. Mr. E is back. Harshit is back. Good to see you all the way from India. Women get returns in their investment through family court and social institutions. Ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth? The reality of you getting married and staying married and having kids and you keeping the kids and keeping the marriage together, well, the statistics say 50% of first marriages end in divorce. I would say it's higher than that. I would say 70%, maybe 90%. The other extra 20% is emotionally, mentally, and sexually divorced, if you know what I mean. Sleeping in different rooms, hate each other. They're just staying together because it's cheaper to keep her. It is what it is. MGTOW Outlaw is back. Good to see you, brother. Check out his channel, MGTOW Outlaw. Don't Quit Persevere. Women love chaos. And yes, they do. Why does the bad boy, the gangsta, the tatted up guy, the felon, the drunk, the drug dealer, why does he always have women? He's a project. He's mysterious. He's not boring. Those relationships don't last either. But anyhow, relationships are unavailable in 2020s. And it's not going to change anytime soon. It's not changing anytime soon. Can't trust this busted agriculture. We need our brains to build our purpose. Proper health for us men is inevitable. Well said, Megatron, brother. Well said. Karuna says, women drivers are scary. Not a big fan of the lady drivers. We think differently. WHO346 is back. Good to see you, brother. Trouble is they can't understand the true value of a man nor the value of bonding. It's cheap to them now, and they act like Lucifer himself, the god of the rubbish world, and their selfish selves. There's men's brains and women's brains are very different. What we value, typically women don't value, or what we don't value, they might value. And it's very difficult to maintain relationships. I saw it with my parents growing up. What brought them together was not only religion, but building a family. I'm the second of 6 kids. So they built a family in the 80s. 80s was a very difficult time financially for the world. High interest rates coming off of Reagan's terms. Lots of gas shortages. I mean, all sorts of shit. Go read Harry Dent's book, The Roaring 2000s. He talks a little bit about it. Women don't love you for you. You need money, status, or looks, but it's not you who she loves. It's the image. Well said. 98% of women follow that. Again, not every woman. Again, my percentage is extremely small. Why does Tyrone get women? They're dangerous. They're exciting. They're not boring. They're not stable. Exactly. Rules for walking around drivers. Never walk in front or behind elderly, women, or disabled drivers ever. It's funny. My son and I were driving, I don't know, a week ago for his birthday. And I said, someone was going really slow. And I said, who do you think's in that car ahead of us? An old person or a woman, Dad? That's what he said. Sure enough, it was an old guy. The idea of a man, that's not the real thing. Yeah, the idea, the fantasy of being called a wife to your friends, the fantasy of being in a marriage, which, they know that marriage is crap. They're probably cheating as well. Infidelity is rampant emotionally. There's tons of infidelity happening through Facebook and the social medias. Physical infidelity is one thing. Emotional is a completely different one. WHO 346, we had the oil bust in the 1980s in the Midwest too. Yeah. I mean, it was tough. Interest rates were 18% to buy a house, folks. And people are bitching and moaning they're 6 and 7%. When we bought our first house in 1997, it was 9.25% was the rate. We paid, I think, a half of a point. We got it to 8.35 or something, which saved us like $80 a month, right? Maybe 100. And then it went to 7. And everybody's, oh my gosh, they're coming. And it went to 6. And we refinanced at 6. And we saved like $400 a month. And we would think, holy crap, 6%, that's amazing. And then it went down to what, 2.75% a year and a half ago, or a year ago, or whatever. And now it's back up to 7%. Still decent rates, but the problem is prices have gone up. Man was made in the image of God, but woman was made from man. They were never a part of God. The whole idea of these channels is to let men know potential pitfalls and rewards of being in a relationship. I don't see a lot of rewards. I see more risks and more pitfalls. 9 to 1. 9 to 1. If you take the intimacy out of a relationship, what's left? You paying for the bills, you walking on eggshells, you dealing with her attention. I mean, give me a reason how this is going to happen. Give me a reason why marriage will work. Marriage doesn't work if you want kids. You'll get the kids, and 5 years later, she's unhappy. She's been unhappy before she got the kids. Remember, the kids is just a vehicle on her journey. And she'll trade that vehicle in any second. SCE is back. Good to see you. Master Wrench right there. Good to see SCE. Infidelity is infidelity no matter what way you put it. Well said, brother. Mortgage rates are high to us, but historically they aren't that bad. No, historically they're fine. Just the cost of the house today is different than it was when I bought 25, 26 years ago. But we are meant to rule, not them. Now, there's a difference, right? We're seeing the effects of weak laws being passed. Skittles, Transformers, Alphabet Soup. We're seeing what's happening. No one has to look past Canada and the US to see what the reality is if we continue in this direction. That is true, Wolf King Sigma. Right now, that is a problem. They are rebelling against everything good. And God is, remember these words. What was right is now wrong, and what is wrong is now right. Think about that. That's why the red pill guys say, hold frame. You need to put a roll to keep her but she doesn't. But that's a problem with these PUAs and dating coaches. They're idiots. I mean, let's be real. The modern day woman today knows all the tricks. A guy's doing, what are they called? Infield. I've watched a couple of these PUAs talk about infield, going up to women and getting their number or giving them their number. Why do they even need to talk to you? They've got so many direct messages, hundreds a day coming in. What is going to, the only thing that's going to set you apart is the fact that you are a real person. But in the end, she's back to her story. PUA might have worked in the 80s. Absolutely, their behavior is very demonic. Look up exorcists and what demons tell them. Blank, act like the demons. Oh, yeah. There was a very interesting live stream with Greg Adams about a year, maybe a year and a half ago, and he brought up witchcraft with ladies. And a girl called in talking about the black screen of your phone. Right, it's black. Let's see, or black signifies demonic mirror and things like that. And there's something to do with black mirror and witchcraft. Crazy, huh? Polska is back. Good to see Bob. He's out delivering. In Denmark, it's 3.5%. On the 1980s, it was 19 to 20%. Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. Best thing I ever did was get out of debt before C-19 hit. Wrote it out now. If I was still working, I'd be buying up properties on the cheap. Repos are coming. Lots of things are happening. We'll have to see, what's going on. I think the key is to be a minimalist, be on your purpose, try to get your health, mental health, physical, financial, and emotional health at bay. Understand this. We do not live in the fantasy. We live in the reality. And I'm only talking reality. And the comments are real. The reality of the situation is you will most likely fail at every potential relationship in the future. If you call it a relationship, she doesn't call it that. Stoicism equals a great frame of mind. Any woman who trivializes us is beyond redemption. Megatron. Here's a different take on things. Rather than worrying about the economic clacks and a financial Cold War, let's just start making things in America again. And I would agree with that statement. The cost of producing goods in China has risen significantly. Why not we bring it back? Seraphim is back. Good to see you. Don't Quit says, I sold my house in 2015. It's worth 200K more today. Paper money. But yeah, I mean, we sold our house for $500, and it's on the market for $850. 10 years later, almost double. France has a 75% income tax. Oh, jeez. Dang. I'll put that comment up there, but that might censor. Wouldn't you view any loss of manufacturing a national security issue like Absolutely. Guys, 90% of medication, head meds, life-saving medications is developed in China. If they cut us off, can you imagine the chaos that'll roam the streets? Being healthy is the most success people can achieve, having health, mind, and body. And you know what? There's so many channels on YouTube where you can learn to live off the grid. There's guys that are building huts out in the middle of the woods using just, wood and leaves and ferns and things like that. How to deal with water, how to purify water, how to build fire without matches, what to hunt, what berries to eat. Right? Michael Rytel, hey guys, I was just listening to an interview with Hammer and George Bruno. Was that the old one like a year or so ago? Good to have you, Michael. Where are you from? Keep the Chinese out of our soil. I learned the hard way, like all of us, but it's great to be free. Interesting what's going on Pennsylvania Avenue right now with a white powdery powdered sugar. Wolf King, that's funny. WHO says during C-19 we had no supply because it was still in China. It was stuck on boats. Yeah. Being financial stable is a good target, but health is wealth too. 100%. Well, what happens if there's a digital currency and all the money is converted and they tell you when and how to spend it? What do you have left? You're tied to the government, but really the only thing you have is your mental, emotional, and physical health at that point, because the financial health is regulated. What happens if they do run out? I've always thought about that. Like, what happens if there's a shortage of the E and the T? They will go back. I mean, talk about chaos. Fleming Larson. I will say I was in Beijing airport and they only play Mozart. No TVs, no CNN. China built TikTok to literally, I mean, what a way to destroy humanity, especially in America, with all of these 304s, this attention, this Skittles movement. I mean, and then TikTok in China is all about math equations, science, Mozart. I mean, I live in South Florida, but I was born in Warsaw, Poland. I miss Warsaw. Oh, that's right. That's right, brother. My brother just got back from Warsaw last week. It's sad. Good men are basically being forced to be monk or F-boys. I wish the fantasy was real, but it is not. Spend that drive and energy into yourself and skills. Well said, Travis. That's reality. One's got to wake up and say, you know what? The fantasy was having children and grandkids and a wife and companionship and love, and getting through the hard and tough times and being there for each other and developing a deep love. That doesn't exist anymore, folks. The majority, it does not exist. And men keep wanting it. That's why they turn into simps. And then they're doing everything opposite they should be doing. Women are bored of them. Women don't like simps. SCE, that's right. Where the haters don't want to leave. Remember when Trump won in 2016, and all these people said they're leaving the country, they never did. Health is so much more important. Absolutely, brother. Karuna says Warsaw is gorgeous. My parents said they went and visited my brother and they said it's great. Singletown Bachelor. I think I watched that video. Shout out to Singletown Bachelor. He's got a great channel on about if they run out of head meds. I saw one airline ban TikTok to their employees. I think it's the stupidest thing ever. Actually, the only reason I don't have it, but I've seen it on YouTube. I see the YouTube shorts, and I'm just watching how like retarded people have become. And it's a great way to view female nature. Fleming Larson, if they don't have their meds and along with 70% of women off of Lexa, we got problems. Yes. Yes. The Warsaw Tower, interesting. Is she Banks? Our healthcare brother in SoCal. I'm on the unit watching this, surrounded by an RN. Rad, you had 0 shot with the X. You can give them a royal flush and they'll ask for a better hand. Truth. Once you realize that, I look back now, even during the engagement, and I realized it was doomed then to certain things, but I was in love with the fantasy. It's been amazing last 6 months, like affirmative blank, Florida's lifetime alimony stricken, and Roe blank reversed. DeSantis he's cleaning a little house out there. Get free. The mainstream media continues to blame men for everything. When you have to blame people based on a political party or the sex of their gender, you're a victim. You're a weak person. Weakness. Every liberal is a weak person in my book because they blame the strong. It's as simple as that. WHO says people are not smart today. Just regurgitate Google. Yeah. Yeah. Your dad is from Warsaw. Good to hear, brother. That's scary to be kids of fans of, yes, the mother. How would you like to be a kid of an OnlyFans model? I'm sure that blank versus blank, most of the women who go about and blank delete their kids don't deserve to have to begin with. Betty Saab is in the house. Good to see you, brother. I'm glad you found the channel. Absolutely right. Marriage equals chasing her happiness. Oh yeah, happy wife, happy life. Remember that that delusion. Been watching Klaus Kinski spaghetti westerns lately. Good stuff. Attaboy. Watch the old movies. I work in a psych hospital. We are getting so many kids now. They're all being raised by, that's the problem, especially here, Michael. 87% of all kids between the ages of 0 and 18 years old in the United States are living in broken homes. That means 13% of the kids today come from a mother and father. And how long will that last? We don't know. But definite chaos chaos is everywhere. And boys are seeking channels of virtual fathers. If boys are listening to me now or in the future, good to see JB, the legendary John Boston. He knows what we're talking about. And they find these channels, these hammer hands, these old John, MGTOW's Freedoms, Paul Proteus, Barbarossa. These new guys trying to teach guys how to be men. You know who I'm talking about. They live in Florida or Romania. No, they've never been through the courts. They've never been married. Good to see JB. No wife means a better life. I completely I've been paddling in that boat for several years now. 8-9 years. Klaus is hysterious, read his book on banking. Patriots 1 says the fangirls have no morals, so the kid will end up with no morals too. And I bet the kid's going to be filming the mother eventually. Generation Clown for 300 Trebek. You heard it here from Rad. Hopefully Poland hold the line and exit the EU. Seraphim. First it was Ritalin, now they're just chopping their blanks off. Yeah, my brother was on Ritalin. He was like, I remember my parents were like, yeah, he has ADHD. We're like, what the hell is that? He's on Ritalin, never heard of it. This is like 1987. No wife, less strife. Well said, brother. You can thank the Democrats for destroying families. If only men voted, the Republicans would win every election. Well, the problem is, there are so many weak people. If you're a liberal, you're weak. And you're a victim. You blame the strong men. You blame strength to get what you want. That's the difference. Conservatives are building. They're creating a life. They're making themselves improve and be better. Working hard by the sweat of their brow. But people want to take. It's humanity, right? Hungary told the EU to F off. Good for them. Rather, there is an oversupply of 40 to 55-year-old women out there looking for men. No takers except for that simp friend of mine who married the 300-pounder. Yes, and I've seen pictures of this, guys. And I've seen pictures of the doctor that married her. And I'm like, Generation Clown marriage for 300 Trebek. John is 100% correct. You're not supposed to date in your 40s, 50s, and 60s. That was not how it was intended to be. You were supposed to date in your 20s, maybe early 30s, but 90% in your 20s, 18 to 28. Get married, have kids. I'm grateful that at a young age I saw marriages as kind of a phony business deal. I was into skateboarding and art from the get-go. There you go. You were a smart one. I noticed in life whenever I met a woman I was attracted to, at least 4 out of 5 would turn out to be libs. Swick. 555. Most of them are libs. There's actually a show right now I'm watching, Match Me Abroad. It's this American gal that goes to the Czech Republic. She's a total feminist liberal trying to find a traditional guy because the ones that are traditional and strong are conservatives. Clown world for 300 Trebek. Well said, Swick. Good to have you. Just 300. Can we get a 400-pounder? That's the next level, guys. They're going to 400. They're going to 400. Yeah. I'll read that comment silently there, Patriots 1, but I think you might be right. Just wait 5 months. She'll be at 400. I can't stand them either. They're mouthy, John. They're they hate guys, although they want a guy. They're just very masculine. They're very abrasive. They're not feminine. Men don't want masculine, abrasive women. with deep voices and directness that a man should have. They want a feminine, a docile, a co-pilot, a woman that all she cares about is making her man happy. It's not hard. The recipe is not hard. Take care of your man, scratch his back, make him food, give him what he wants. Be there. Stay off all that social media crap. You know, when marriages happen, even in the early 1900s, 1800s, 1700s, or early 1900s, women would cut off all females from their life when they got married. They typically married an older man, 10 to 20 years older, and they would cut off their sisters, their mothers, their friends, their cousins, and completely be 100% with him. Interesting how life's changed. BS for 300 Trebek, JB. Gem Power, hello to you. Let me know where you are from. I don't need a man. I want a man. She never knows what the heck she wants. No. 98% are not recommended in Rad's world. And the 1% to 2% are still female. I act like I forget certain RN names sometimes, drives them crazy, and it sparks their interest. Makes them feel like their name doesn't even get real estate in their mind. They will love you. Yeah, I've heard that. I'm looking for love. Ishii Banks knows most nurses and doctors are liberal. I'd say 98% of all healthcare executives and physicians and clinical people are libs. Maybe a tomboy. Men want peace, quiet, and nice homes to come home to. Yeah. By the way, Trump was right again with France. The prime minister of Italy for months has been on France to stop the open borders and stop the overflow. Now yep. And think of what happened 20 years ago when they allowed the Muslim community. Now it's taken over. Rad, let's see. Is it normal for young women training? No, I don't think it's normal. It's a man's sport. I mean, there's women's sports in it. I mean, the Ronda Rousey thing, that's great. I think guys like Ronda Rousey because she was hot in the day. And they all have this secret desire to wrestle her. There's always a simp looking for a 304. That's right, brother. The 500-pound penis snapper. Bring back the dowries. Gem Power from the green skin. You got to tell me where you're from. If you guys are new, let me know where you're from. Behind every woman wanting a divorce, there is a troubled woman or group of women chirping in their ears. Oh yeah. If a woman's getting through, if a woman's going through a divorce or a separation, 75% of her family that are women and her friends are contemplating divorce. Hive mind for 300. Most want a man to do stuff for them: handyman, lawn care specialist, and mechanic. 100%, brother. 100%. It's more peaceful to live without social media. Yes. Social media has destroyed the minds of humanity. Females are mostly to be avoided. Their nature is not a pretty thing. Less to do with them, the better in most cases, says Lone Wolf. Lone Wolf says women have 500 messages, too many options. Well said, brother. Glad you're here. I want a kitty to beat and a nice meal cooked when I come from work. Kiefer, you're only talking about our biology. Well said. I seen it coming from Syria. It was going to end bad. Now we have our own Syria issue from the southern border. We do. Guys, when weakness prevails, it's the end. Especially in relationships. Oh, the charts. Under the sex of the kids, it says sex at birth. I work with charge nurses that go under them. Oh, I've seen. I was at a healthcare convention last week and a half ago, is she, in Nashville, with the healthcare financial management folks. So many badges of 50-year-olds, 60-year-olds with different names. But I appreciate content creator. It takes guts. Patriots won. I'm not worried about it. I got my face out there. I could care less. What are you going to do? Right? Fire me? Great. That just makes me retired quicker. Because women choose to be too much complicated. They're so complicated that they can't stand without Lexus Pro. Ironheart, good to see you, brother. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Who is from Oklahoma, the land of the Sooners and Brian Bosworth? Remember Brian Bosworth? And it's windy, but they got a good steak out there. I'm from New Jersey. Parents came from Palestine. Good to have you. Morristown, New Jersey. Beehive Mindset is real, says don't quit. You're 100% right. They were labeling Polish people as blankists when we closed it to Syrians. Well said, Wolf. I won't read it. You never know. Who is right? I always wanted a quiet, peaceful home with a sweet, serene, feminine wife. When I was blue pill, I thought women would be like that. I was wrong. Me too, Swick. USA is the next France. Yes, it is. 2020 blank. We're just preview to the whole movie coming up. Yeah, guys, it ain't going back unless we see our MAGA man in there. Heading back to Arizona from the beach, San Diego, back to reality, back to life, back to freedom, says Timmy Kramer. Hanging out in San Diego. Good to see you, brother. My area in Connecticut has too many turpid blank resembles France now. How do we allow all of these on the, what was that, HB1 visa or something? It's actually unsocial media. All forms of communication are compromised. Think of all those embedded agents as a carefully orchestrated PSYOPs program. Yeah, you know what I think? Fakebook is a complete government invention. You know, Karuna, the Bosworth. Remember Brian Bosworth? Jim Power, Nat Patterson. I was so blue pilled. Then I learned about female blank and understand they are chaos. Once you understand how our brains work and how their brains work, you can't be an idiot. You know that our purpose and desires do not align with theirs. Why would we struggle like a hamster trying to fix something that is unfixable? The new Houston. I would agree. France is a joke. I have no desire to go to that beta male country. If there was another BLM type of event in the U.S., I don't think anyone would put up with it, John Boston. Well said. And we have some French guys in here, and I feel bad for those guys, but I think the government of France is, I don't know, they've just allowed. So I guess I couldn't say anything. I mean, the U.S., Canada, France, all the weak countries, it's all pathetic. They did a study and found that by 2030, 50% of the nation will be obese. Imagine you'll be fortunate if your woman is only overweight. And she'll be on head meds, is she? Well said. Radical Rafter is back. Good to see you, brother. Rad, do you think 2030 and onwards will be even worse? Yes. Guys, I don't see it going back ever again. Programming is already in their neurotransmitters in their brain. It ain't going back. Corruption in Connecticut is mind-blowing, says Michael. Oh, yeah, very expensive, too. Isn't that where Ben and Jerry's live? No, they're in Vermont, another lib place. Do women even want men? No, they only want the attention and the materials that a man provides. And then they want multiple men. Citizens don't have input. Referring to all these immigrants from Middle East, our cultures don't mix. Well, we don't. The Moors, look at the Moors. You guys want to study real quick? The Moors are basically modern day Iran, Iraq, and so forth. Some of them went off, obviously, to other parts. There's actually words. In Oregon, there was a street called Kilmore Street. Kilmore, which means blank Moors. In Spanish, it's Matamoros. This has been going on for thousands of years. Probably East Asia and China, no matter what one thinks about the blank, will survive next to 3 decades. West is gone. Yeah, 100%, brother. Well said, Betty. There's no turning around. Now they want Sharia law, and it's interesting with the blank, it's going to get it too. Well, allow open borders. And, again, this is where emotions are going to trump reality, or emotions are going to literally destroy humanity. Facts over feelings is how I run. Rad, you know a lot of random places in the U.S., probably from work travel? I do. Been to all over. We should talk about that one day. Sunflower from Oregon. We are next. My bestie live in the area of Bohemia. She states there are no inconveniences. I'm really glad it's not being talked about. Good to have you back. I did see your email, by the way. Only when they need a car that flat changes when they want a man. You know what? It's funny. Most men today can't even change tires. They just call an Uber to come and pick them up or whatever. Remember when there was no Uber, there was no DoorDash, you had to fix everything, there was no Jiffy Lubes? I remember when it was so expensive to fly, when nobody had passports. Well said. Tons of crookedness going on, Wolf. Betty says, 177 pounds is the average American woman. I'm a short guy with 142 pounds and borderline overweight. It is atrocious. Yeah, Kevin Samuels just really highlight the weight of a lot of the gals. But men need to take care of themselves too, so it goes both ways, right? Vermont is a libtard disaster in some parts. John Boston. I got to get out to Boston and hang out with John. Rad, you are aware that Mark Zuckerberg is the grandson to David Rockefeller. Facebook is a possible government. I did not know that, but I am not surprised. I believe it is a government spying. I believe them all to be government, even YouTube. Well said, WHO. There's a lot of different sects within that culture. I have a beautiful girlfriend, but she knows and always reminded that I am an independent contractor deal. I come back if she acts right. No marriage, no kids ever. Well, I mean, I'm not anti-relationship. I'm anti-marriage, cohabitation, and kids. And goofball relationship, I do not believe in love. But if you get along, I like the Jonathan Noble way, which is that person takes care of her stuff, you take care of your stuff, and you come together and enjoy each other and be a little intimate. Who cares? You know, I've heard New Jersey is full of those types of folks. Jen Power, no, I'm in Salt Lake, Utah, but I've been to New Jersey. Divide and conquer, they want confusion. Absolutely. Remember, distraction is the number one tool. They want to distract. They use stories in the media. They use war. They use all sorts of things. They use the death of a presidential dog that died on the presidential grounds to distract people of what they're doing behind the scenes. The red pill is reality. The blue pill is fantasy. AAA is a lifesaver. Locked my keys in my car a few times. There you go. I remember my grandpa putting fat in his hair. How about Vaseline? When I moved to the U.S. from Poland, I was shocked fat women want to date millionaires. Oh, and they are. Oh, they are. If I said it once, I said it 1,000 times. Women have too many options. There's Loan's comment. New Hampshire is nice. I might move up there. I did like New Mexico when dating is crazy. Marriage is not good deal anymore. It's not. It's not. American problems can be solved overnight. Yes, short time price will be hefty. Just restore the Constitution and scrap gov 90%, 95% along with all the welfare and ban women from that's it. Don't think it's going to happen, but that would definitely be one of my dreams. Getting back. Actually, I would love to where voters had to be landowners. You had to own land to vote. Love is 4 letters, just like can't understand normal thinker. Does not compute. LOVE. Same chemicals that apparently falling in love gives you is the same chemicals that I get by eating a bacon cheeseburger. How do I deal with them? I don't talk about it. I'm straight to business. I don't ask them about their personal life. It's all about the business. And I've wanted to unleash multiple times. I keep my mouth shut. Remember, you cannot argue with a liberal. It's a mental disorder. Massachusetts, Andover. It's a nice place. Your voice is a gem. Have to run. A 300-pound mom is giving us issues because her 150-pound 5-year-old is mysteriously ill. Hang in there, Ishi. Good to have you. Love is a bad word. How about Bon Jovi song, You Give Love a Bad Name? 1987, I believe. Love and sex are the 2 words more researched on the internet, but people are forgetting research for divorce more often. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Ironheart. Love me a bacon cheeseburger too, with caramelized onions. Men think marrying a lady stops women from cheating. That's a lie. 100% don't quit. You can't talk to mentally ill, crazy. My ex was like, so is mine. They're all crazy. Most divorced women become liberal feminists. They side with other liberals. Man, they live on the Oprah diet. I don't need no man. I don't need no man. You won't pay $900 for my weave? I don't need no man. Once I saw a 450-pound whale eating cakes, drinking soda, posting while wearing a bikini, showing hairy armpits and the Sims were drooling all over. Oh, geez. And now a lot of those women you described are transformers. Love is a battlefield. Is that Pat Benatar? How is it there are so many wealthy, crazy women out there whose rich dads enable their lunatic lifestyle? Strong men like myself and strong fathers are always canceled by their daughters, especially if the wife divorced the husband. The old blue pill side of me is sad that I was never married and had kids. The red pill side of me says, hell yes. Sure. I mean, I can completely relate to that statement. My ex regrets what she did to the family and getting divorced. Now she sees how she shouldn't have listened to other women. John Boston, but isn't that sweet knowing that the man wins in the end? Jawar is in the house. Good to see you, brother. Yep, I posted about an hour before I went. I said I had a little bit of time. I'm going to be busy this weekend. And we die on the battlefield when it comes to love. We sure do. I am happy to be financially secure and peace of mind. Sorry. You're 100% right. Absolutely. Peace, quiet, and freedom. I'm actually glad that she gave me a divorce. I am not happy about the breakup of my family from my kids from their parents. It was Pat Benatar. And I think John Boston can relate to that statement too. Glad thing you didn't have smell. You didn't have smell-o-vision. Marcella is back. Good to see Marcella. Hope all is well. I tried, good to have you back. You notice that my original channel got canned. Hope you're doing well. Tell me what's going on with you. Send me an email. I'd like to hear about what's happening. But that is a reality. 98% of women are not recommended for relationships. They do not raise with traditional values or morals. They seek attention and validation. When truly, if they really want a happy relationship, they should only seek the attention and validation of their husband. That's it. But will it ever come through? And men need to be strong. Men are becoming weak and agreeable and boring. They're not on their purpose. They're not out building the race cars. They're not out doing the things that they should be doing, which is being on purpose and keeping that woman as a complement to the life, not a central purpose. This is where society went wrong when men literally elevated women to pedestals and treated them like princesses. Every single one. Princess Destiny syndrome is a real thing. Only terrible thing about divorce is the children weaponized against the father. Absolutely. And you know what? Every kid that goes through divorce, they're damaged somehow. There's a light out. I see it with my own kids. Well said, Patriots won. And I think I've given my kids, the reality of life. And the ex was able to raise, we were able to raise the kids in the last 8 years. Okay. But there's still a pain in them. Doesn't matter how great the parents are with each other. If the consequences are brutal, then why do most men still get married? They love the fantasy. They want to have a wife. They want to be called a husband. They want that title. They think that they invest in them, they're going to get a better investment. That only happens with maybe 1% to 2%. rebelagainstdefeat@gmail.com. rebelagainstdefeat@gmail.com. Once a woman gets in a relationship, they want an open relationship. A lot of women have so many options. Every woman that listens to me has options. Female nature would still be the same even without feminism. Well, absolutely. And that's how we navigate it. We have to understand that we both have two different brains, male nature and female nature. They're two real things. Well said, Betty. Or Lone. 2020 wheelchair bound, kicked out of the house. Baseless allegation. I'm a threat to 350-pound obese woman eating ramen noodles at a friend's house to survive. Fast forward, I'm set to make $80K this year. Betty Saab. You are improving, my brother. Brad, what's your favorite random town you visit in the U.S.? I like San Diego. Random town. Let's go random town. Moline, Illinois. The Quad Cities. Cedar Rapids. Moline. What's the other one? But I flew into Moline. It's such a small little weird town, but they had a great downtown with great food, and it was right on the river. Moline, Illinois. The pic of the woman I sent you in her 50s, her husband cheated on her. She could meet men no problem 20 years ago. Now I found out she's on a dating site for 50-plus-year-olds, and they don't see they are invisible. Oh, I have a fake Match account, and every day at 5 o'clock, I get a new list of Match people. Nose tackles. I'm going to say. I was 22 when I got married. I had a kid 9 months later. I was blue pill living a fantasy and didn't know anything what a healthy relationship was. Got married at 24, turned 25 2 months later, and then had a kid a year and a half later. Good to see Ease in the house. Have a good day to you, my man. Controlling biology is hard as blank. It's a hard discipline, like Kung Fu, to disable the hormonal assault. And it's all practice, Wolf. It's all practice. You got to look past the wetness, the desire, the release. But most men can't do that. They can't control their biology. Pat Benatar refuses to play Hit Me With Your Best Shot. That was the song that made her famous, but some of the fans believe it glorifies blank, and she says that she has nothing. Yeah, can you imagine going to see Pat Benatar and she doesn't play that? Again, our world is canceled. Mel Brooks would be canceled. Rambo would be canceled. Schwarzenegger would be canceled. Anyhow, guys, it's been a great live stream. And this is the reality why relationships, 98% of relationships will fail. And we've discussed it. And there's no coming back. It's not going back to where it was. Programming is already in our neural nets, our neurotransmission, our hypothalamus, especially on ladies. And social media and the technology is only driving it more. So have a good day. Have a great weekend. Rebel against defeat. Chase excellence, masculinity, and men first. And John, there are nose tackles and defensive linemen in Kohl's. I'm out.